Some of the best Star Wars characters have defining attributes, dialogue, and stick around in our minds long after the credits have rolled. They don't necessarily need tons of screen time either. They could just be iconic, memorable, and honestly, downright awesome looking. Ready to go to a galaxy far, far away? I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 best Star Wars characters. #25. Mon Mothma. Within the frame of the films, we know little about Mon Mothma other than she resisted Emperor Palpatine at the end of the Republic. In Rogue One, she recruited Jyn Erso to find her father Galen Erso in hopes of getting the plans for the Death Star. 24. Wicket. While many didn't like the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, Wicket has to be the exception. This cuddly little alien bear befriended Princess Leia and helped aid the Alliance in the Battle of Endor against the Empire. 23. Admiral Ackbar. A veteran warrior, Admiral Ackbar fought in the Clone Wars and later helped lead the Alliance to victory at the Battle of Endor to destroy the second Death Star. But, above all, he said those three beautiful words that'll forever be cemented in history. It's a trap! 22. Qui-Gon Jinn. This Jedi Master's stalwart confidence and maverick sensibilities distinguished him among his monotone Jedi peers. He also liberated Anakin Skywalker from slavery, and while that unleashed a whole lot of suffering for the galaxy, Qui-Gon saw potential in the boy and had notable aspirations for his future before the Jedi Council shot him down. 21. Rey. Other than being a scavenger abandoned by her parents at a young age, we know little about Rey, including her last name. She's also a bit of a Mary Sue protagonist with no character arc in sight. Still, it's easy to empathize with Rey's innocence, courage, and her endless search for a connection with a parental figure. 20. Poe Dameron. A hot-headed, cocky, and arrogant pilot with a tendency to go rogue, Poe Dameron helped lead the fight against Starkiller Base and led a small mutiny against Admiral Holdo in The Last Jedi. Eventually, he learned that to be a leader, sometimes you have to put aside self-serving heroics and rather be self-sacrificial for the benefit of others. 19. Finn. Trained to be a stormtrooper since an early age, FN 2817 was nicknamed Finn by Poe Dameron after Finn rescued him from the First Order. His character has a decent arc. He went from being a stormtrooper to renouncing it, trying to flee, but eventually helping the Resistance to save his friend Rey. 18. Casseon Andor. First appearing in Rogue One, and only appearing in Rogue One, this rebel intelligence officer does whatever necessary to serve the cause, including gunning down informants and potentially assassinating Galen Erso. He's been through plenty of tough trials in his life and has become hardened because of it. However, his relationship with Jyn Erso helps him realize, rather than following orders all the time, he needs to follow his heart, listen to hope, and do the right thing. 17. Orson Krennic. Unlike many of the typical evil and elite Star Wars officers, director Orson Krennic is more of a blue-collar type, working his way up and doing everything he can to earn respect. His friendship with Galen and Lyra Erso helped humanize him and made him slightly more empathetic. 16. DJ. Hear me out on this one. While DJ, played by Benicio del Toro, didn't get much screen time, we learned plenty about his beliefs from his words and actions. He's a talented thief and hacker, but he also doesn't believe in taking sides, knowing they both feed the war machine. Much like Han Solo, he serves himself first rather than a cause, but he also has a heart, giving Rose her pendant back. 15. Boba Fett. This feared bounty hunter is a man of few words, but that doesn't stop us from loving him. While we know little about him, part of his allure is secrecy and mystery. To some degree, removing that would only be to everyone's detriment. As a side note, he also has some pretty awesome armor. 14. Darth Maul. Much like Boba Fett, we know little about Darth Maul, but his dark and ominous presence makes him an intriguing figure. In many ways, he was the boogeyman archetype in The Phantom Menace. Plus, you can't really beat the double lightsaber reveal and the Duel of the Fates lightsaber battle at the end of that movie. Fighting two Jedi at once is no small feat. 13. C-3PO. Programmed and built for etiquette and protocol by Anakin Skywalker, C-3PO became the constant companion of R2-D2, Luke Skywalker, and the Rebellion. 12. BB-8. There's something ingenious about an astromech that looks like a soccer ball with a tiny head. This speedy little guy is the companion of Poe Dameron, and later Rey, helping the Resistance against the First Order. Humorous, brave, and loyal, BB-8 is a great droid we all wish we could have at our side. 11. Chewbacca. Known to pull arms out of sockets when he loses, Chewbacca is the loyal and lovable companion of Han Solo, serving as his co-pilot on the Millennium Falcon. He fought with the Republic on Kashyyyk before being enslaved by the Empire. Once freed, he became a smuggler and eventually a rebel against the Empire. While he's got a short temper and occasionally shows signs of cowardice and being a big baby, Chewie is a loyal friend to those closest to him. 10. Lando Calrissian. Smooth, confident, and charming, Lando Calrissian was a known smuggler, gambler, and captain of the Millennium Falcon before becoming a respectable administrator of Cloud City. After one too many alterations to the deal he made with the Empire, Calrissian turned to the Rebellion. 9. Obi-Wan Kenobi. The legendary Jedi Master who trained and failed Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi eventually retired on the planet of Tatooine to keep watch over Luke Skywalker. Of course, he later trained Luke before facing Darth Vader one last time. 8. R2-D2. This astromech droid plays by his own rules to get the job done. Skilled in starship mechanics and being a fighter pilot's assistant, he proves himself time and time again to be a loyal and trusted counterpart to C-3PO and the Alliance. 7. Emperor Palpatine. Also known as Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine single-handedly orchestrated the demise of the Republic, dismantling the Senate and being sole emperor of the galaxy. His scheming and evil knows no limits, and he only craves more power. 6. Yoda. As a wise old Jedi Master, Yoda trained generations of Jedi for over 800 years before eventually becoming exiled to the Dagobah system. His kind, quirky, and silly demeanor can quickly become stern and contemplative, and of course, his knowledge of the Force is almost unmatched. 5. Princess Leia. Strong, confident, wise, and occasionally having a sharp tongue, Princess Leia Organa was a great and fearless leader of the Rebellion and the Resistance. Falling in love with the scoundrel Han Solo, together they had a son, Ben Solo. As a character, Leia grew from a snarky young warrior to a wise matriarch of the entire Resistance. 4. Luke Skywalker. From a farm boy on Tatooine to one of the greatest Jedi Masters the galaxy has known, Luke Skywalker is definitely one of the best characters of Star Wars. He grew up from a naive boy seeking adventure to a mature Jedi Knight forced to face his evil father, Darth Vader. Spoiler alert. His arc to a cynical old hermit wanting to flee the conflict between good and evil was unexpected but understandable, making his character even more complex than before. 3. Kylo Ren. Few Star Wars villains are as complex as Kylo Ren, also known as Ben Solo, making him one of the best characters in the entire film saga. As the son of Han Solo and Leia Organa and the grandson to Anakin Skywalker, he sits in the shadow of greatness and wishes to be better than Darth Vader, finishing what he started. But he's torn, constantly pulled to the light, wanting to start anew and let old things die. 2. Han Solo. Growing up in the mean streets of Corellia, this notorious scoundrel became a pilot for the Empire before being kicked out for having a mind of his own. A notorious smuggler with a big heart, Solo went on to help the rebellion against the Empire. He's cool, confident, and for a time only believed fate was in his hands until he met a young farm boy that turned all that around. 1. Darth Vader. With a menacing voice, an awesome black suit, and fierce determination for control, Vader is iconic in the Star Wars mythos. Yes, he's an evil Sith Lord that murdered countless number of people, but as a character, he also has one of the most tragic and best arcs in Star Wars. A slave boy terrified of death and ripped apart from his mother at a young age, he became the most powerful Jedi in all the galaxy before turning to the dark side in hopes he could control death. But it wasn't meant to be. Eventually, after seeing his son in peril, Vader made the right choice by killing Emperor Palpatine and turning back over to the light side. So, who's your favorite Star Wars character, and why? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answer to us at List25. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.